is Friday the 13th, coming to HHN this year.
Okay.
You'll have a big tented area with tables and chairs.
Okay guys, we're currently at Universal Studios Hollywood. It's time for another Halloween Horror Nights 2025 update. They're building, we got construction updates. Stuff has been leaked. We're also in Murdy country. So with that note, let's show some vintage Murdy.
Hi, I'm John Murdy, Creative Director of Universal Studios Hollywood. Welcome to this exclusive behind the scenes at Halloween Horror Nights 2010. Halloween Horror Nights is the one time during the year where we transform the entire theme park at night into a living horror movie. So today we're going to give you an exclusive sneak peek into our latest haunted attraction, Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses 3D.
Hey, I'm Rob Zombie and you're at Halloween Horror Nights.
So Universal's association with Rob Zombie actually goes back to last decade. In the late 1990s and the 2000s, we did an attraction with Rob Zombie. And when we brought Halloween Horror Nights back in 2006, Rob was one of our greatest fans. He's come to the event every single year. So last year when we were hanging out in the park, opening night for Halloween Horror Nights 2009, we started talking about how great it would be to work together again. So we thought this would be the perfect marriage to get back together with Rob and create an attraction unlike anything anyone's ever seen before. One of the things that's exciting for us as designers of Halloween Horror Nights is getting to work with a property that's pretty much tailor-made for creating a haunted attractions. You know, we always look for strong environments to base our attractions on, and there's plenty of strong environments in House of a Thousand Corpses. Right out of the bat, you have Captain Spaulding's Murder Ride, which is kind of like an old carny haunted attraction that you'd find somewhere out in the middle of nowhere, and that's perfect for us in Halloween Horror Nights. But then you also have the House of a Thousand Corpses, which is where the Firefly family lived, which is this demented family of serial killers. So we're going to take you in and out of that house. And then, of course, the urban legend Dr. Satan. So to get to Dr. Satan, you have to go through these circuitous underground tunnels. So House of a Thousand Corpses pretty much in one movie has all of the strong environments we'd look for to create a haunted attraction for Halloween Horror Nights. What's really great about collaborating with Rob is that way before he was a filmmaker or way before he was a musician, he was an artist. So as we worked with him on the designs for House of a Thousand Corpses, he knows exactly what he wants. Now what's different about House of a Thousand Corpses from any other haunted attraction that we've done here at Universal Studios Hollywood is this is going to be the first movie-based haunted attraction that's done in 3D. So every time we create a haunted attraction, we want you, the guests at Halloween Horror Nights, to feel like you've stepped through the movie screen and now you're inside the movie. And 3D gives us one more tool to take that even farther. We want it to be a really unsettling experience. We wanted to make it feel like the walls are almost alive and breathing and things that you're looking at are changing right before your eyes. And that's what's great about bringing 3D to Halloween Horror Nights. As a creative director, one of the great things about getting to work on Halloween Horror Nights is we're smack in the middle of Hollywood. So we get to work with the filmmaking community. We get to work with the actual people that made these horror movies. And our job is to make sure we transfer their vision to our haunted attraction. So at the end of the day, when you're walking through House of a Thousand Corpses, it should feel like you've entered the movie, as if you've walked through the screen, and now you're living a horror movie. And we want every single detail, from the tiniest prop, to the characters, to the facades that we create on the outside, to feel as if it came straight out of the movie.
All right, so right now you can upgrade to a FanFest ticket for just $49 if you're already inside the park. How are you doing? How's Fast doing? That's the real question.
It's looking great. All the theming is coming into place. We got to get all the hillside done, you know. The hillside will look beautiful. It's just, sorry, I get emotional when I talk about it.
I know. It's a family matter, right? Yeah, it's an emotional matter.
What do you think I got to wear these sunglasses all day? You know, I'm looking to the future. Pretty impressive. You might want to hang on to your shorts. Check this out.
Oh, wow.
So this is the Universal Ultimate Coaster.
I call this the Synergy Coaster. Look at that. You're going to start with Jaws, fly through a minion, go through a pond. Here's, what is this?
Hotel.
Oh, a hotel?
Yeah.
Okay, this is, what is that?
That's just a gap.
The gap, oh, I like that.
It's got to jump the track at some point.
And then where does it end? It loops back around.
So here's my question. I was suggesting about halfway through, you have to buy a ticket to fly to London.
Yeah.
And then eventually go to the UK park.
Okay.
And then you got to fly back.
I think Jerry Seinfeld agrees.
Yeah, apparently. Where'd he go?
I don't know.
All right, see you later, Jerry.
I think you've done a lot of planning since the last time I saw you.
I'm trying to add as many IPs as I can. You know, I'm working on getting the Willy Wonka license because I want the scary part.
Okay.
I think we need a little bit more horror, and that's the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. Also, I want the length to match the amount of time of long lines when it's crowded, you know? The coaster needs to be 49 minutes if you're gonna wait in line for 49 minutes, you know?
Is there a bathroom break? Like if you're in the middle of it, where do you go?
There's gonna be a couple bathroom breaks. There's gonna be a couple AM, PMs along the way. 7-Elevens, if you will. You can get a drink, you can go to the bathroom, maybe get a hot dog. Wow, you're wrangling this really good. Thank you for the shot. It's quite impressive, honestly. You're doing great work, and you're gonna make me tear up with how hard you're working.
I was wondering if I get your autograph. I've never seen Bernie spelled that way.
Yeah, I'm more of a designer than I am an Englishist.
So when you come over here and you get 2 good shots of the houses, you know, you're gonna have one right down there and also one over there. So let's get the zoom. So Vegas, they announced the audition about Vegas. So let's go over that real quick. So Universal Horror Unleashed sent out a call for full-time working actors. Cabby, I gotta ask, what's the most important detail when you're detailing the car?
The most important detail when I'm detailing the car, let's see, you gotta be able to see your reflection in the paint.
Okay.
Yeah, you want it to be so shiny it reflects everything. That way no other cars come near you.
Do you have a special wax, or is it like a spit shine, or what's the...
Every time Shrek walks past, he digs in his ears a little bit and flicks it on the cab. It's gross, but it works.
There goes Shrek. Do you need a ride? There's a great cab service, can drive you around.
Except I lost my engine in a bed. I can't, it won't go anywhere. Left. Oh, you want the steering wheel? Drive? Driving, yeah. Go crazy.
But my thing is just like...
You gotta do like this. Okay, well... Actually, you want to drop it?
Yeah, don't let her drive.
That's how I drive. What do you mean?
That would be very New York driver right there. Right, I trust you 100%. Back seat only.
Thank you, Frank. Frank just put the autograph book down my hoodie, but we got it. So there it is. So we got the Bride of Frankenstein and then Frankie, and then we got Have a Cabulous Day. They got Gabby the Cabbie, so we had Gabby sign right next to Labby. All right, we're about to go on the tram tour. Let's go over what just got posted on the website, talking about some of the hotel benefits and what has now been kind of officially announced. So on the Halloween Horror Nights website, it says this: there's gonna be dedicated access to the event. Universal Orlando Resort Hotel guests will be among the first to scream with special access to a dedicated Halloween Horror Nights entry gate each event night from 6:30 until 7:30. Valid Universal Orlando Resort Hotel key and Halloween Horror Nights 34 event admission is required for access. Benefits subject to change without notice. Not valid for Halloween Horror Nights Premium Scream Night. So they're confirming that Premium Scream Night is returning. I'm glad they kept up this art design. This is from the tram anniversary. So good. Okay. Let's head downstairs. So we're gonna hop on the studio tour right now because you can see all the construction happening for all the houses on the tour. So we got the zoom camera.
We've not only entertained you with great movies, we've also entertained you with great television shows. Now when we turn on the right, the white building, Fire Station 51, named in sometimes at a base camp, you'll have a big tented area with tables and chairs. Well, that's for craft services, providing meals for the cast and crew when they are taking their break. We have more front lot sound stages for you to see, this time on the right. On the right, we're going to be next to. Notice on the left behind Ted, you have production bungalows. In these bungalows, some of Hollywood's top writers, directors, producers come up with ideas for a script. We're entering London Square. Now we call this area London Square because the buildings could easily be a parliamentary structure for a scene in a movie or a TV show. Ted Danson's Netflix series, The Man on the Inside, has used London Square. And that shows a Universal Television production also. On the other side of the London Square buildings, part of that long New York street. Hey, speaking of New York, I'm going to bring back my co-host, Jimmy Fallon. He knows an awful lot about New York.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York. I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. Once got mugged over there. By an old woman, tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. Hey, I'm walking here. Hey, it's cool guys. I was just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro set.
Steven Spielberg began his career right here at Universal. You know who else got started here? The Monsters.
Thou shalt rise again.
Now, this is the creation of our monster mural by artist Tristan Eaton, honoring the great horror characters of Universal. Dracula, the Bride of Frankenstein, the Frankenstein monster, the creature from the Black Lagoon, and the Wolfman. This completed mural is coming up on the right-hand side. Tristan Eaton used 54 different colors and over 800 cans of spray paint to create that magnificent monster mural. As we enter stage 50, please remain seated and hold on. Now, 2-level soundstage above us would be an urban street scene set. The lower level is a Northern California subway station set. This set is also known as a plaque. The Hollywood Ocean. Now, the Hollywood Ocean could be a lake for a production, could be a river, and it could even be an ocean if you use miniature vessels. The Hollywood Ocean also became a lagoon for our classic 1954 3D film starring Julie Adams. Creature from the Black Lagoon. A lady named Millicent Patrick created the look for the creature, which you see up on the screen. The creature is part of our legacy of great horror films and monster movies. That legacy began many, many years ago, back in the silent days of movie making. Now, these horror films all shot right here in our historic Little Europe, which we are now entering. 1923's The Hunchback of Notre Dame, 1925's The Phantom of the Opera. Both of these classic silent horror films star the legendary Lon Chaney. Well, we did stretch our love for the horror films and the monster movies into the sound era. 2 early sound films. They both opened back in 1931. They really helped put Universal Studios on the map. Those 2 movies are Dracula with Bela Lugosi and Frankenstein. New England town terrorized by that shark in one of our biggest hits ever. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I see another shark in the water.
Get that man out of the water! Now!
Look out! Look out! Moving! The gas hose is loose. Folks, there could be a fire. This is not a good sign at all, folks. That was a very big thunder boomer. Flash flood, take cover, look out!
Coming up is where one of the most important pieces of film ever filmed for YouTube happened. It's coming up right here.
First time ever on a movie studio lot. And during a bathroom break.
I think it's John Murdy right there.
John! Okay, so Designs by Jess tweeted out this. I can't wait to hear this come up in the Murdy tweet segment of HHN 365. Because John tweeted out, it's always exciting when wood rises. And then John also tweeted out this. Just finished writing Tear Tram, which came in at 168 pages. That should do it for the writing this year. To celebrate, I'm going to answer your random questions. So someone asks, what were one of the things you had to research for the tram? John responds with how to spell innocuous. And if you don't know what that word means, it means not harmful or offensive. And then John tweeted out this. And if you ask a question about Orlando's event, which I don't create or produce, my God, how many times have I explained that? You get this guy, and it's Florida with a rainbow with SpongeBob. And then someone asks, will there be an exclusive IP this year like last year with The Weeknd or Texas Chainsaw Massacre? And John responds with, yes. And then Monkey Dude asks, is there one IP or original that you've been wanting to bring / do is finally coming this year? And John responds with, yes. So passion project of John's is happening this year. And then someone asks, any truth to the rumor you're thinking about hanging it up and retiring? John responds with, isn't that always a rumor ? Has been for the last 10 years at least. I'm 58. I'm shooting for 60. My wife disagrees and says 65. So could we have 7 more years of Murdy tweets? It looks like it. John didn't tweet this out, but I thought it was funny. Proof that John Murdy is writing it for the MCU from Thunderbolts with the Z at the end of Avengers.
Back on July 15th, 1964. At the other end of the road on the left, you'll see some great Fast and Furious film franchise picture cars, but do not forget the right-hand side. I see Fry's Electronics van from Jordan Peele's movie, Nope, starring Academy Award winner Daniel Kaluuya and Emmy winner Keke Palmer, shot here at Universal Studios in this location. The movie, Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. Over on the right, 2 of the most iconic sets ever created, the Bates Motel and Norman Bates' house. One of the most spectacular sets ever created, the airplane crash site set from Steven Spielberg's blockbuster Paramount film, War of the Worlds.
This is Jupiter's Planet, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Juke Park. Over there, look into the winking well and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Shows. In a gold rush frontier town lies a sinister secret. Welcome to the world of Rome.
All over Universal, showing you great filming locations. I want to point out one more great filming location. This whole area up here is called Falls Lake. If you look up ahead on the right, you'll see a big blue backdrop. One of the largest freestanding backdrops in all of Hollywood. When there are no vehicles below the backdrop, we fill in that area with water. Crane's car from Psycho. This is where Norman stashed his victims. Now, for your production, if you needed clouds in the sky, you paint them on the blue backdrop. The blue backdrop can also be used as a blue screen or green screen. You might have heard that, same thing. We'll give an example of how it can be used as a blue screen from the Warner Brothers film Sully, directed by Clint Eastwood, starring Tom Hanks. Now, if you look on the screen, when they filmed this scene by the backdrop, they only filmed the plane in the water with the passengers on the wings. Behind the plane was the blue backdrop. Then, in post-production, using computer-generated imagery, the background was added. We thank each and every one of you for taking the world-famous studio tour To our past members, thank you for being with us. Not a past member, head up to Universal Box Office, find out how to upgrade today's ticket.
Great tour. I loved how like the tram driver had a little alien head. You guys saw some construction updates. So things are happening. They're building like the layout of the houses right now. We'll get some more details, you know, being added and everything, but they're up. They're building the houses right now. All right, Fast and the Furious is getting there. Dude, I cannot wait to ride this next year. Count Dracula. It's honored to be in your presence.
It is an honor, isn't it? Where are you traveling from?
Florida. Lots of sun. You do not want to go there, I promise.
That's why I'm in the shade over here. Have you gone to our dark universe?
I have. It's nice to see you wearing shoes.
Yeah.
Out there, you don't wear shoes.
I know. Well, and I'm more evil, huh?
Yes.
Then my darker side comes out there. That's why it's the dark universe.
Yeah, you're terrifying out there. You sign with a red pen.
Blood red. How's that?
That's beautiful. There's Dracula's signature. Okay, so Crystal and Chris tweeted out this. So much progress since our last visit. Universal Horror Unleashed in Las Vegas at Area 15. Surrounding structures have gone up, likely for more entertainment and retail. The cabin of the plane has also been installed. Horror Unleashed Vegas opens on August 14th. So the surrounding area still has a lot to get done. So Vegas, so I was kind of worried about how they're gonna do this immersive storytelling, but after kind of experiencing Dark Universe and also FanFest nights, I think Universal knows how to pull it off, where it's like, you can follow different characters for different storyline, you can interact with them as much as you want and kind of unlock the story as much as you want, but there's also just a fun kind of base layer of entertainment. And that's what's gonna be happening at Vegas, right? In those little bar areas and also the shows, there's gonna be this like overarching story that connects with HHN lore. This angle of the doll does not look right, but if you come down like this, then it looks normal. But from above, looks like Alphaba should be taking on Captain America. Look at you, Gru, look at you. Now I gotta say, you should watch out. If these were yellow shoes, the Minion, it looks like a banana. They'd be all over it. Oh, yeah.
I got a flat head. You're writing a novel.
How are you holding up down there?
So far, so this is good leg exercise, good squats.
All right, there's Gru's signature, and then Stuart was the little minion that we just met. One of the best dark rides made in the past decade. It's adoption day.
That means they don't have homes. Okay.
Let's go over some more little tweets about what's going on with HHN this year. Universal High tweeted out this. We have an HHN tent up in the Parisian courtyard and vertical wood.
Welcome to the secret headquarters of Captain Snowball. Now I know it looks like a typical little kid's room, but that's just because it provides the perfect cover for my superhero activity.
Zoom in on that hairbrush.
You have the same one.
Same one.
Snowball.
So, what you want?
Snowball, all right, if you could go back in time, where would you go?
If I could go back in time, where will I go? That's a good question right there. You know what? I will go back to prehistoric times, and I will be the king of the dinosaurs. Yeah! No longer will furry little animals be scared to roam in the prehistoric realm. No, because the mighty Tyrannosaurus will prevail! That's where I would go back.
All right, we've made it to CityWalk now. We have some more stuff we want to cover. They have the FanFest merchandise inside the main gift shop here. This is a brand new shop. I don't know what's in it, but it's a bunch of plushies, I guess. Yeah, they got a bunch of like little minions. I think it's a K-pop band that they're dressed up as. They got some shirts here. Universe Star in Hollywood. I don't know what any of this stuff is. It's just a little, like what? Why is this $30? Why is a little teddy bear $30? $20 keychains? What is that? Oh, it's moving. What? Why is it moving? Is there someone in there? Oh my God. They do have some old school Universal love. We got a little Casper the Ghost right here. Richie Rich. Felix the cat. All these different little keychains. Then if you have a drink, you can put your drink right here before you enter in. Here's some sort of little koala. There's so many changes happening to CityWalk here. Insomnia Cookies is coming. The Slice House is coming here now. I've heard this pizza is actually pretty good, so I'm excited to try that.
I'm yours, there's no need to come.
They're having the NBA store coming here now. If we go up the escalator, I think we can get a view of where the rumored hotel is. And over here, we should get a view. Yeah. So they've started all the construction over here. This is rumored to be where the new hotel is gonna show up. So they've kind of ripped out that part of the parking lot. Things are happening. Imagine a giant hotel here. You walk into CityWalk, and then, you know, you walk about 3 minutes and you get into the park. They have a massive dragon over here. This used to be, I believe there's like a nightclub. They got a Raising Cane's coming to CityWalk, yes. All right, let's go into Twosome's Chocolate Emporium. There's some bubbling happening over there. All right, we've gotten our little pager, waiting for the shake. This might be one of the most bizarre milkshakes I'm ever gonna drink in my entire life. The specialty drink is gonna be available until May 18th. It's gonna be the White Dragon Ice Shake, the vanilla soft serve, stone fruit, peach and plum syrup, blue raspberry syrup, cotton candy with whipped cream. The Dungeons, the Dragons. So you're gonna need some. I'm doing 7.5. Tastes like kind of a really thick vanilla ice cream with like a hint of plum in there. Didn't really taste any of the other flavors. All right, so back to Universal Studios Orlando's HHN. So we have also had our auditions, you know, posted for this year. So a lot of interesting things within it. The Halloween Horror Nights Orlando scare actor submissions went out. So they're looking for scare actors, stilt walkers, and puppeteers. Universal Orlando Resort is accepting submissions for roller skaters for Halloween Horror Nights. Universal Orlando Resort is accepting submissions for highly skilled quad skaters with movement abilities to appear in Halloween Horror Nights. Okay guys, we're back in the office. Now before we talk about is Friday the 13th coming to HHN this year, I want to talk about kind of what's going on in HHN Hollywood. So it's heavily rumored that the Scarecrow house is returning to HHN Hollywood. Now Scarecrow the Repeat is one of the greatest houses of all time, right, for Halloween Horror Nights. I would be okay with it coming back. I just don't want it to come back this year because out in Vegas, they're having the Scarecrow the Reaping house, which they've kind of said is kind of the same layout of the original house, but just kind of plus. It's bizarre because like the Hollywood market is the closest to Vegas, so why would you have this like not special unique property then for the Halloween Horror Nights fans when it's already going to be in HHN Hollywood? What's going to get people to go to Vegas? It's bizarre because you have like Texas Chainsaw, which was already at HHN Hollywood last year. Then you have Scarecrow, which is going to be rumored this year. And then The Exorcist Believer, which no one cares about that IP. But it's just kind of a weird, bizarre marketing tactic that you're kind of like reusing all these IPs or like original content so close to the opening of Vegas. Okay, so now let's talk about is Friday the 13th and Jason coming to Halloween Horror Nights this year. So like way back in like January, that's one of the first IPs that I really started to hear about was, you know, Jason returning. Now we've not had him in a while. So this is kind of a big event, rumored to be kind of a giant collection of all the different Friday the 13th films, kind of like how there was the Texas Chainsaw House last year in Hollywood, where it kind of honored all the different Leatherfaces throughout the film universe. So it's rumored to be all these different versions of Jason. And then talking about Jason and the Jason universe, Bloody Disgusting tweeted out this: today marks the 45th anniversary of the original Friday the 13th. To celebrate with a new Jason universe logo honoring the franchise's legacy, which we can exclusively unveil. Sounds like there's gonna be a big push for this Jason universe to celebrate the 45th anniversary. So at the beginning of the year, this kind of, you know, started as that rumor, and then now pretty much everybody within kind of the HHN community, they're all pretty much hearing the exact same thing, is that Friday the 13th potentially gonna be coming this year. Now again, stuff can always happen. This is the one IP where I'm not 100% concrete on. The other IPs are coming no matter what. This is the one where I'm still kind of like, there's a chance that it could not happen. Things can always happen. Contracts and IPs and stuff can fall through last minute. Stuff can be changed. In later HHN updates that we filmed, we'll be talking more about the IPs and what's kind of pretty much been confirmed, what's going to be coming this year for Halloween Horror Nights. So guys, on that note, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. If you have not already, hit the subscribe button. Join the family.
Won't you join the family?
Because I'm going to keep you up to date on all things Universal Studios and Halloween Horror Nights around the country. I love you all, and I'll see y'all very soon.
Maybe get a hot dog.
Gru, I love the new cologne you're doing right now. The Pooterade cologne smells real good right now, yeah.